Patricia, you and I have been working together for years now. It feels like a decade, and it may very well be coming close to that. I know it's not, but it feels that way. And you and I have come from different perspectives, but our journeys are the same in the sense that we are both coming from original food dysfunction, addiction, use your favorite word.
Mhm.
And in that process, you and I realized together we are a powerhouse. My words, other people's words as well, that we combined make this amazing team.
The approach, your approach, my approach,
Exactly.
different angles of the same issue have been very powerful.
Absolutely. So, what I wanted to pull together here, you and I talking about some specific things that can encourage people and help people, but also um, to shine a light on some of the alternative areas that are involved that people don't realize that are really the deep underpinnings of food dysfunction.
Yeah.
So, the first question: when did you first realize your relationship with food was teaching you something deeper about yourself?
Okay, well, of course, it's been a long journey, on, off throughout my whole life. 10 years ago, I got abstinent, involved with actually with bright line eating that really helped me put together some things that I hadn't been that I hadn't up to that point put together. So that took a few years. Took a few years of me being on a food plan, understanding that this is my lifeline, and I was ready to adhere to abstinence. But it took a few years for me to see there's different layers. There's different layers to this. It's not just staying on your food plan. It's the emotions that come up, the feelings, and the I've just actually been more recently aware of the distinction between emotions and feelings. That had never occurred to me that feelings were what I'm putting onto the emotion. I didn't even realize it. So, so the way I look at it is that I went through kind of archaeology digging into the different layers. Like, initially, it's like, why me? Why can't I eat like everybody else? Now I look at that as really preposterous because I don't want to eat like everybody else. We're in trouble. We in trouble, girl. We in trouble. But at the time, it looked like I wanted to just eat whatever I wanted to eat. So anyway, I had various layers of victimhood about the fact that I had. And so as I became abstinent, my mind clearing up and starting seeing the people around me, I was really fortunate to be in a community that was really kept me going in the conversation of all of this. So realizing that, oh, there's many more layers to this. If I want to keep on going, because my whole life, I never could keep to anything forever. I didn't even think it was possible to keep to anything forever. I don't think it was possible not to eat sugar ever again. How could that be? It's, I didn't even know it was possible. And so yeah, as I moved along, started seeing people getting to points where they'd get down to the last 10 pounds or 15 pounds and then they'd go back. What's that about? Why are they doing that? It's and hearing people uh getting stuck in certain places and they are thinking it's all only about the food and starting to expand my notion that has to do with so many things and how I'm looking at everything. So that took I've been doing this part of the journey, which I consider abstinent journey for 10 years, which I never was able to hold on to anything. I'd lose the weight and then start eating the way I was eating that put the weight on. And now I just eat differently. I just look at it differently, and I honor, I honor, the fact that I don't want to do anything to spoil that, and so it keeps me easily within certain boundaries right now. And having community and talking to people and having classes and coaching people and seeing, where I went off and seeing where they're going off, it's been really, really helpful.
Couldn't agree more. It's interesting to me when we talk about the journey. I see, as you said, using the phrase the archaeological layers, I see the layers. I started technically my abstinence journey when I was trying to heal my asthma. And I went off of ultra processed foods basically back 15 years ago, but I didn't understand how to maintain it. And I didn't understand how to, that it
Right,
was even sustainable, right?
right. How
It,
do you do
you know,
that?
we always see a diet as well, it's only finite. It's only
Yes,
until I get to this point, right? The problem is that that is the way we've looked at it, that it is finite and it's not. If we can shift, it can certainly start out as a diet. It can certainly start out as a cleansing, as a way of releasing the demons and cleaning our gut biome and allowing for the release of the ultra processed garbage toxins, right? It can certainly be that. But at some point, we need to deal with the underlying reasons that we were going to food. And what I found when I was starting this particular segment of my journey, food abstinence journey, was 9 years ago with bright line eating as well. And I started with this abject fear because I started to realize, wow, I can actually lose this weight. I never thought I could. And then I realized I need to hold on to, I was desperate to hold on to the peace associated with abstinence, but I wasn't sure how to do that. And that fear, that abject fear was very strong for me because I was watching other people fall into the Grand Canyon of ditches and imagining myself losing that peace. And that was terrifying. And then I realized, well, I can't live this way forever. It wasn't about the abstinence, it was about maintaining that fear. And so I started to look at things and shift things and realize I need to make my own rules. I need to make rules that work for me. I need to understand the purpose of the rules. I needed to understand the underlying reasons I go to food, and I'm still finding them. It's amazing to me on this journey, right? It's
yeah,
it's 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 kind of surprising. And when we get to this point that I think you and I are both at, it's a place where we can get a little delighted or a little laughter, or a little giddy about some of the things that come up for us. Each of us has shared throughout this last year about things that have come up for us that really surprised us and maybe knocked us on our butt for a minute, but also opened up brand new areas to inspect. It's like every time SWCC, every time something happened that I couldn't control, I would shove it into a little box. And it was like my garage. I had all these boxes. And every now and then something would trigger and just pop open that box. But the interesting part that you and I are going to be talking about in one of our master classes is that that box is actually, we're in it. We're in
right.
that. We're in that. So when we start
We're trying to avoid being of the box, but we're in the box.
exactly, and the way that we can reevaluate this or reframe, which is going to be the first masterclass, we're going to be talking about reframing. The way we can reframe these things can be cathartic, can be fun. Whoever thought that healing could be fun when we've always thought it had to be hard work? It can be fun and it can be interesting and it can be mind blowing. And for me, the big issue that food taught me was that it isn't the cause. It isn't the cause.
Right,
It isn't the reason I walk on this planet to die at another day. It is the reason that I notice when something is knocking me off center, that is shifting my balance, that is creating a hurricane of emotions, that is creating an opportunity for me to look at this. And I might not be able to find all the answers, and I definitely struggle when I do it by myself. When we have a group that is committed to resonance, awareness, and support unconditionally, we can really rock it. Alarmed aloneness is a big deal.
Yeah.
And that's where we feel these things. So
Deepening.
deepening.
Sonja, I thought I was a together person and I just had this food issue. And if I could just, get rid of the weight, I wouldn't have any more problems because that was my only problem. My only problem was that my weight, I was too fat.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, I can control everything else in my life. And the one thing, I mean, I can control everything else in my life. The one thing I could control is what I'm putting in my mouth. And I wasn't doing that. It was a big mystery to me. And then as I went through so far, these 10 years that I've been doing this in this way, it just deepens and deepens and deepens. And it has nothing to do with what I weigh, although that was the driver and what brought me in and what got me interested in looking at this. And it's gotten so rich and deep and rewarding and beautiful, actually.
Couldn't agree more. I have my eyes have been opened and I'm so much more aware, and I'm not afraid. I get curious, I get interested, I get courageous in some instances that feels like a really big dose of courage is required to go to this particular place. And sometimes we have to go back to it multiple times in order for it to really be flushed out.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of this, because I do believe that food cravings, food issues, reasons why I might be face planting are because we haven't addressed this issue yet, and we get to, and the food is a beautiful gift because we know now, right? I used to eat mindlessly. I used to constantly, I don't think I was hungry for 20 years. I would eat all the time. It never occurred to me to stop and look at it. But once you've been abstinent, even for a couple of months, you start to notice it. It's bright line eating ruined eating for me in that same way, because I can't look at food the same that I do now. And when I hear myself saying, I want this, or I need to go here and take care of this, or I'm really frustrated and anxious, I'm looking for something, I'm able to then use that neon sign to look deeper.
Yeah. I think our work is so helpful in situations like I've tried this and tried this and tried this and tried this and I've tried that. Maybe there's something missing that I'm not understanding. Maybe I don't want to go deeper, but I'm willing to look at this from a deeper place. And I can join this group who's been doing that with others who've been doing that. So it's a safe haven for me to begin to look at it in a new way. I think it would be really helpful if you are there to join us in this, in our traveling through this.
Yes, the first masterclass will be May 10th, and there will be three, and they are designed. The first one is called Reframing Relapse from Failure to Feedback, just what we were just talking about. It's going to be May 10th, and it will be a precursor, but it's free. It will be a precursor to encouraging folks to sign up for our class, which starts May 31st. So let's take a minute to say goodbye, and we'll talk some more in a little bit. Hope to see you coming back.
Ciao.
Okie dokie.